Hey, what's up, guys? All right, we are going to give it just a minute before we get started. We'll start right on time. I'm super excited to have you guys here. We are going to really dive deep into some strategies and understanding why we do the things that we do. And I think this is going to be super helpful for a lot of you guys. I'm super excited. Just make sure you guys have a pen and paper to take notes, and we'll get started in 1 minute. All right, let's see here. Okay. I'm just going to check to see if this actually fits in the screen. Yeah, it does. Okay, I know it's mirrored. So maybe what I'll do is I'll switch this out. I don't think so. All right, guys. So what we're going to be doing today, it is 9 o'clock. We're going to start this training now. And basically what this training is we're going to I've been doing a whole lot of mindset work over the past sort of year, and I've really understood what is kind of the root of what the foundation is of creating the things that you want, creating a body you want, creating the like a life that you want, a business you want, the financial freedom. Like what is what do we need to focus on? And I think that what happens is, like, a lot of people, when it comes to fitness and building a body that you're proud of, too many people are focused on diet and exercise. And that is not the problem, as we're going to talk about today. And so what we're going to be doing is we're going to really design your roadmap to, what it takes to really achieve a fit body and eliminate all the stress and emotional eating patterns that tend to go along and hold us back from really achieving the body that we know we can have. Okay. And so what we're going to be doing is this is going to be really application based. And so you're going to need a pen and paper, and what we're going to be learning is going to be most likely revolutionary for those of you that actually apply it. Okay. And obviously, like, I'm only going to be here for about 30 minutes, and this is kind of going to be like, every single Monday I'm doing a mindset training. And so everything sort of builds off each other. So if you don't get it right away, no problem. Just, make sure you rewatch it and you come back every Monday so that you can start to understand, what is really the driving source behind, creating the things that we want in life. Okay. So I'm going to do a little bit of a lecture, and then I'm going to show you guys, we're going to do a little bit of an exercise. Okay. So we need to know some important concepts first. Okay. So first off, we need to understand that transformation happens from the inside out. Okay. So unlike what most people think, where if I just focus on, a new diet program or a new workout program, that is going to create the change. That does nothing. Okay. I mean, strategy is important, but it's not the root of the problem. Okay. Or the success. Okay. So what you guys need to understand, and I'm sorry if this is backwards. I don't really know how to not make it backwards. So what we need to understand is that emotions drive thoughts, our thoughts. Okay. So our emotions drive our mind. And then our mind thinks thoughts, which drive more emotions. And that is like a cyclical nature. This is how we can get sort of into a spiral effect of, when we get overwhelmed, we do certain things, and then that just creates more overwhelm and more frustration. So we need to understand that emotions drive the mind, right? And then the mind thinks certain thoughts, and then those thoughts determine our actions. Okay. Those thoughts drive our actions, and those actions create certain outcomes. Okay. I should have done a pyramid, but that's okay. So basically, in fact, I don't think I have so I want you to think that, we feel a certain way. Let's just say we feel, overwhelmed, right? We have a ton of things to do. All this in our, ton of things on our to-do list. That's going to make us think certain things like, oh my God, I don't have enough time to get it done. There's too many things. I'm already behind. I can't catch up. those thoughts will drive certain actions. Okay. So I want you to think of actions here. So maybe during periods of overwhelm, like for me, I can tell you that one of my patterns is when I feel like there's just too much to do and I don't know where to begin, not enough time, I tend to go to food, right? That is something I'm like, boom, I like dart to the pantry or the refrigerator. And I typically want to go for like the sweet, salty, like just snacky type foods. So those are going to drive my actions, and those actions are going to create a certain outcome. Okay. So that outcome is going to be, I probably won't be able to look and feel as fit as I'd like to look. I'm not going to have the body I want. I'm not going to have the confidence I want, which is going to affect my relationship. Maybe my relationship suffers, maybe my business suffers. Okay. And so the thing is that we have certain patterns that have been trained within us. Okay. Each of us have our own set of patterns, and these patterns, they live within our nervous system, and they get turned on when we do certain things or certain things happen to us. So, for example, like I said, with me, some of my patterns are anxiety, overwhelm, doubt. Doubt is a really big one. And when I notice these sort of feelings get triggered in me, usually because, so overwhelm would be too many things I have to do. I can't get it all done. Anxiety is kind of like the same thing. Like oh my God, I have so much to do. Doubt is like, if I don't feel like I may like second guess whether I'm smart enough or pretty enough to, for people to want to listen to me. And these things, that like certain things will trigger those emotions within me. Okay. And it's not the to-do list that is actually triggering, that is actually the reason for it. It's these patterns of emotions already existed within us, and they have been trained within us, usually from, our childhood, and, how your parents raised you. Typically, like, I know I got my doubt and my anxiety and my overwhelm from my mom. Like, my mom is super like everything's got to be like to-do list upon to-do list upon to-do list. I mean, it's just like nuts. And so I've picked up those patterns, and they have been trained within me. And as a result, there's certain actions that I tend to take when they get turned on. For example, I try to soothe myself when I eat. Like when I eat, it's like a way to either just sort of disengage and like and try to soothe this anxiety or overwhelm feeling. Or maybe I procrastinate, right? I put things off, which in turn is just going to cause more overwhelm, right? And so you can see how, these are going to, like, you feel a certain way, it makes you think certain things, makes you feel a certain way, makes you think certain things, and it's a cycle. So again, like fear, fear or doubt with a diet may cause you to think. So fear or doubt may cause you to think may cause you to think certain things like, well, yeah, I feel fear because it's never worked before. Why would it work now? Right? These are the thoughts you're thinking, which is going to cause you to not go fully in on a diet, and try something new and think that anything is possible for you, because you think these thoughts, which are just going to create more fear and doubt. And it's just a perpetual cycle. Okay. And so as a result, you're not going to try a new diet. You're not going to trust anybody. And that is going to create an outcome where you ultimately end up staying the same, or maybe you get fatter because you don't trust that anything else is out there is going to work, because you've tried everything and everything has failed. And so then you're more sad and you're never finding your true potential. Okay. Another example. So I'm just going to show you here. So here is basically the same thing in a pyramid fashion, okay, where emotions are at the base. Your emotions drive the mind, which thinks certain thoughts. Make sure I'm on the screen here. So your emotions drive the mind, which your mind thinks certain thoughts, which causes you to take certain actions, which creates a certain outcome. Okay. And so, for example, let's say we've gotten the emotion of shame, right? Shame of eating, uh, cookies or ice cream or something like that. So this feeling of shame, for example, for me or whatever, may cause you to think that you need to, may cause you to think, oh, like I really screwed up and I need to burn more calories. Now I need to outburn the calories that I just ate, right? So those are the thoughts that you just had, which are going to lead you to taking actions such as eating less and exercising more, right? And you eating less and exercising more to try to burn off the calories because that's what you think that you need to do. That's actually going to result in you eating more and exercising less because you're going to try to starve yourself and outwork the calories. And so you end up going into this cycle, this vicious cycle of sort of this yo-yo cycle where you sort of restrict and then binge and restrict and then binge, and you can't find that balance. Okay. And as a result, you end up feeling exhausted, fat, and you don't really know how to get yourself out of that cycle. Let's go to another emotion. So let's just talk about frustration. Let's say guilt, like frustration or guilt. You think, so you have this emotion of guilt of, maybe not eating the right food or not going for a walk or not getting your workout in. Okay. And so that is going to lead to thoughts where you'll say, fuck it, I'm just going to start tomorrow. Like I'm just going to put like wipe clean this day. I'm not going to even try today and I'm going to start tomorrow. Sort of the fuck it attitude. And so you wait and you're frustrated. You end up becoming frustrated that you waited. And so your action is that you waited. And that is going to just cause you to get more frustrated. So again, the thoughts and the emotions drive itself in that cycle. Okay. And as a result, the outcome is you just continue to beat yourself up and you create this pattern of never really doing what you say you're going to do. Okay. So what I'm trying to get here, guys, is that emotions are the driver to everything that we think and do. And those actions create outcomes, whether we want them or not. Okay. So the key to understand here is that we do not create what we intend. We create what we focus on and feel. Okay. So we don't create, if our goal is, oh, I want to lose 20 pounds, we don't create that intention. We create what we focus on. And so we want to make sure that we aren't focused on things that we don't want. Like, for example, I don't want to focus on feeling fat because the feeling of like feeling fat like that, the feeling of fat is going to be an emotion, which is going to be kind of like driven by fear, right? I'm afraid to feel fat. I'm afraid to get fat. That fear is going to drive certain thoughts, such as, I have to do this. I have to work out harder. I have to eat like this. And it's like this driven by fear. Everything's driven by a fear-based state, which is going to create thoughts that, just aren't going to align with actions that we want. So you're going to actually take actions out of fear, thinking that, oh, I have to do this. I have to work out. And the workout sucks. You dread your workouts. You dread your diet. Everything feels hard. And as a result, you're going to get a very, your diet is going to feel hard. You won't be able to sustain that. And you're going to be one of those dieters that's just like, you try and then you fall off. You try and then you fall off. And it's always hard. It always feels like this uphill climb. Okay. And that's all because we focused on losing 20 pounds, or we focused on, hey, I just don't want to feel fat. So our focus is driven by fear. Even if you were just thinking about focusing on losing weight, it's still, that can be a feeling of, if it's 20 pounds, that can feel like an overwhelming feeling. Like, oh my God, 20 pounds is so much. I have so long to go. That emotion may be overwhelm or anxiety or fear. And that's going to create you to think certain thoughts and take certain actions that is just not out of a state where where that are just driven by fear. It's not something that you get excited about. It's more something that I have to do, and it's dreadful. And this is where we can start to notice things like stress eating, right? This is where, like because it's driven by overwhelm and anxiety, we can find ourselves in that habit of sort of eating to soothe our pain. Okay. And so that is not going to create the outcome we want. We want to be focused on the feeling that we do want rather than the feeling that we don't want. Okay. And so let's go ahead and talk about what that looks like. Okay. So, sorry, my arm is getting tired. Let me see here. Make sure you guys can see this. Okay. So first off, I just want you guys to continue to understand that women very wrongly want to think that the problem to their body goals is a diet or a workout, right? They just think that, oh, I just need to do a different diet. That diet didn't work for me, or this workout program isn't working for me. Well, the truth is that the diet and the workout is not the problem. Okay. You're thinking that it's the problem. Like, okay, you're thinking that, oh, the solution is diet, the diet and the workout program. But I want you to think of it like a weed, because you're just trying to exchange one diet out for another. But you notice probably that you keep getting the same results, right? So it's just like a weed. You pull the weed from the top, well, the weed just grows back. The problem is still there. And this can be really super frustrating because women, like most people, are not aware that the root of the problem lies at their emotions. Their emotions are driving the thoughts and the actions that are creating the outcome that they don't want. That dieting is hard, looking fit is hard, that I have to work harder. Okay, and so I'm just giving you what I'm about to give you is a way to tend to the core problem, which is your emotions. Okay. And then another example of this, if you maybe can have experience with this, is like a lot of us will think that, oh, if I just exchange one relationship for another, that, oh, this person just isn't right for me. It's the person that's the problem. And they keep changing out the relationship, thinking that the person is a problem. And they notice that they just run into the same issue with the different person. Well, that's because you keep pulling the root, because you take yourself everywhere you go and you didn't actually change yourself at the core. Okay. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to draw a pyramid like I've drawn here. And at the top of the pyramid is going to be the thing that you want to change. So for most people, it's going to be like, oh, I want balance, or I want to not stress eat, or I want to look fit. And I want you to, that's going to be at the top of the pyramid, the outcome that you want. And then I want you to write down the emotions in the bottom square of like the things that you feel when you think of that thing, right? What do you think about when you think about like looking fit? Do you feel like it's hard? Do you have fear of it not working out? Do you have anxiety because there's so much to do? Do you feel guilty because you've never been able to make it work in the past? Do you feel doubt because you've tried everything and don't trust anybody else or anything else? Do you feel shameful because you keep eating the wrong things? Okay, so I want you to just list out the emotions that you have here, like I've done at the bottom. Okay, so, and then once you kind of pinpointed 3 or 4 emotions that you notice tend to be, a pattern for you, then I want you to go to the next square and write down, okay, why do I feel that way? So for example, I feel doubt. Okay. I feel doubt. My thoughts would be, I feel doubt because nothing else has worked in the past. I feel guilty because I know better. I know not to eat that. I feel shameful because that would be like a punishment. So I feel shameful because I ate the wrong things. I ate the cookie instead of the bell pepper. I feel anxiety because I don't know what else to do, and everybody's has conflicting information. Okay, so that would be your thoughts. Then what you're going to do is go to the next square and think about, okay, well, out of those thoughts, what actions do I take out of that? Okay, so what are the actions? So for example, maybe I don't trust the diet, so I don't do anything. I don't do something different. I eat less, exercise more. And anxiety, maybe that turns on my desire to eat, stress eat to soothe, because I don't know what else to do, and that just seems to be the thing I want, right? And so that would be the action. And then what would create that outcome, right? What would you, if you continue these actions, what's gonna be the outcome? So I'll never change. I'll always struggle. The diet will always be hard. Working out will always feel like a chore. I'm going to always hate my diet. I'm going to have to live by macros forever. Okay. So that is going to understand that this is a perpetual cycle. Okay. And so the most important thing that we can do is to change your emotions. Okay. Because that is at the root. That's the root of the problem. Now, in order to do that, we need to we need to have a really, well, actually, we need to be able to do three things. Okay. You must be willing to say yes to three things. So I'm just going to put this down for a second. So the first question is, am I ready and willing to start doing things that I haven't done? Okay. So start and ready and willing to start doing things that I'm not currently doing. The second question is, am I ready to stop doing things that I'm currently doing? Okay. And then the third question is, am I ready and willing to commit myself fully to do whatever is required to create the body that I want? Okay. And so you need to say yes to all three of those questions. Okay. And in order for us to shift those emotions and switch to a different pattern, we must know why it's imperative to you, why it's important to you, why the body is important to you. Okay. So again, ask yourself these three questions. Am I willing to stop doing things like feeling guilty or, for doing, eating a certain way, or feeling guilty for not going hard enough, feeling, am I willing to stop telling myself I'm fat or I feel fat? And am I willing to stop eating a certain way? Am I willing to start eating a certain way? Am I willing to start training my mindset and my emotions? And am I willing to connect with my why daily throughout the day? So are you willing to stop doing things and start doing things to make this change? Okay, so that's what you need to first say yes to. And then you need to ask yourself, am I willing to do whatever's required? And what that means is that your why has to be more important than what you're currently doing, okay, in order to make a change. Okay. So now we're talking about your why, because the why is what's going to activate your nervous system, and so that you can start to feel excited, right? So that you can start to change this fear-based state to a love-based state, okay? And that will drive completely different actions. So your why needs to be more important because you're absolutely committed to fulfilling the body that you want, the life that you want. And you need to be able to connect the why. You need to be able to connect why the body is imperative to you. Why is looking fit, feeling fit, why is that so incredibly important to you? Why must you fulfill it? And really continue to ask yourself, like, fulfill your fit body goals or not. Okay. And if your why is unshakable and it is extremely strong, then it's only a matter of time that you're going to have the body that you want. But if your why is shaky, chances are very slim that you're ever going to get there. Okay. So once you know what your why is, that's when we can start to map out your new blueprint of emotions and thoughts and actions to get the body that you want. Okay. And so we're going to talk about the next roadmap, right? So once you have your why to change the emotions, we need to create a new blueprint with new emotions, new thoughts, and new actions and new outcomes. Okay, and so what you want to be doing now is talk about, okay, so what is the outcome that I want, right? So um, I want to have I want to look fit and have it be super easy. I want to feel balanced. I want to have freedom, and I want to feel like I'm in control with food, no matter where I'm at or what's going on around me. I want to have it. I want to enjoy my diet. I want to enjoy my training, and I want it to be sustainable. Okay. So that is going to be the outcome. And then if you think that, okay, well, what would that feel like? What are the emotions that you would feel if you had that? Okay. And so what I wrote down here is peace. Like I would feel a sense of peace around food. I would feel love, just so much love for myself, for my workouts, for my body. I'm going to feel excited. I'm going to wake up excited for the day and what's to come for my meals. I'm going to be excited about my meals. I'm going to be inspired to move, to take action. And I'm going to be super clear. I'm going to feel like this sense of clarity that I know exactly what I need to do. And all I have to do is just do it if I just feel these things. And when I feel a sense of peace, it's going to make me think certain thoughts like I'm at ease and there's nothing that I should be doing. And whatever I'm doing right now is the perfect thing I should be doing. And and I can go hours without food. I don't need to think about, I don't need to, I just don't even have the need for food because there is no problem that I'm trying to solve. I'm excited about the day, so I'm engaged. I'm wanting to be living life, or loving life. Okay. I'm inspired, and so I'm going to move more. I'm going to take certain actions, and I'm going to want to choose certain foods. I'm going to want to work out and in a certain way where I just want to have fun and not place any expectations on myself, and I don't feel like I have to work harder. And so as a result, you're going to create that outcome that you've always wanted, but you have to align yourself with the right emotions from the beginning. If you are operating out of the fear-based state of, fear, anxiety, overwhelm, this diet is so hard, then you are going to create a very difficult time. And so remember that in order to shift our emotional state, we must change. We are going to have to change our nervous system through a very strong why. Okay. And not only understand why it is imperative to you and connect with that daily, but actually connect with it multiple times throughout the day. So in the morning, I write down before I start my day, I write down exactly, why, what I'm after, why it's important to me and how I'm going to get it. And I align with the emotions of peace, love, excited, inspired, and clarity before I even start my day. Like I imagine myself like living that and how much I love it and how it feels so good. And as a result, I get excited about it. And then I take action out of that. And so, and I always take the right actions, right? I intentionally don't make it hard on myself to work out. I intentionally look forward to certain foods because I know that it is aligned with exactly what I wish to create. And I remind myself of why it's important to me throughout the day so that things don't distract me. Okay. And obviously, like here's the thing though, like I want you to understand that this isn't something that you just do and it's like, it's done. What's going to happen is, let me just write this here. What's going to happen is you're going to start to think certain things and then you're going to have to redirect. So you're going to think certain things throughout the day and you're going to have to catch yourself and redirect. And you're going to go back to thinking certain things and you got to stop it before you take the action and before it creates the outcome, and you got to redirect. So it's this back and forth training your nervous system to align with this roadmap and not this one. Okay. and being aware of when you start to feel these kind of things and think these thoughts and take these actions, you are aware of it so you can stop it and redirect. And remember, the why is what's going to shift that. Okay. So that is today's training. So hopefully what I want you guys to do is just, for one, create the two pyramids, create what my current pattern is, and then what would be my new pattern that aligns with the things, the feelings that the way I wish to feel. And then make sure that your why is strong enough. Okay. So that is going to be the homework for today. I hope you guys like that training. And once you dial this in, you are going to be a powerful source. Once you align with your goals from an emotion and transform from the inside out, you are unstoppable and can really create anything that you want. But it does take training. It does take awareness. And that's why the mindset training is so helpful. So I hope you guys like that. Make sure you guys do that, devise your two pyramids, and you understand exactly what your why is, and it is unshakable. Okay. All right, guys. Hope you have a great day, and we'll talk to you later if there's no questions. I don't see any questions. So, all right. Okay. Have a great day, guys. We'll talk to you later.